So I have this really distinct memory of a craft project that I did in Sunday school when I was a first grader. And so just as an aside, if you think, that what Chelsea may be doing in City Kids or what Anthony is doing week in and week out in City Youth, here I am 40 years later still talking about a craft project from Sunday school. And this particular project was a piggy bank. It was like a little green cylinder, had a top on it, and on top I wrote, we'd written a Bible verse that God loves a cheerful giver. It's kind of the tail end of this verse in a passage in 2 Corinthians about stewarding resources that God has given to us and about returning some of those gifts to God. Truth be told, though, I have not always been a cheerful giver, and I certainly haven't always been kind of a regular, faithful giver. You see, I like to plan. I like to feel secure. I like to be self-reliant. And these things are somewhat antithetical to kind of giving freely. Fortunately, we serve a God who is big, a God who can change hearts, a God who has given us practices and disciplines to help us. And through that discipline of regular giving, God has shown me the foolishness of trying to be self-reliant. God has shown me that real security, doesn't come from resources that I can, kind of put aside for myself, but from the ultimate sacrifice that Christ made for me on the cross. And ultimately, God has used giving to show me and reveal to me his constant faithfulness in my life. So years ago, Sarah and I were living in New York. I was still in law school. My oldest, who turned 16 this week, she had just been born. Sarah was waiting tables and kind of going through the sing for free part of her music career. So to say we felt stretched thin was an understatement. Then our church came to us and told us about this ministry that they wanted to stand up, and it was going to be a church planting ministry ultimately. And it was something that for some reason really spoke to Sarah and I at the time. We felt like it was important. We wanted to be a part of that work, and we were being called to support it financially. And we, looked at each other and didn't know where the resources were going to come from for that. Ultimately, we prayed about it. We decided to make a, overall pretty meager commitment in the grand scheme of the ministry, but to us felt very significant. Well, fast forward, 6 years down the line, as City Church is forming together in this ministry that we had kind of helped in a very small way stand up in New York several years earlier, became an early supporter of City Church. And so that kind of full circle moment for us was just a really beautiful example, again, of God's faithfulness and about the way he reveals his faithfulness to us through giving, through participating in kind of the work that he is doing, and ultimately in recognizing that what we have is not ours, and must be returned to him cheerfully. Thank you.